Hello, friends and YouTube chess lovers. Welcome to another video of the Mysterious Knight. In this video, I'm going to discuss the advanced variation of the French defense, which starts with pawn to e4 and black replies pawn to e6. So after white grabs the center with d4, black replies with d5, and white pushes the c4 pawn to e5. So this is the basic setup for the French defense's advanced variation. If this pawn e cross d5, then it is the accept variation of the French defense that we are not discussing in this video. So pawn to e5 setups the advanced variation. Black here plays pawn to c5, opening up the center, but white denies with the pawn to c3, keeping the center intact and the position closed. So after pawn to c3, black plays knight to c6 and white replies knight to f3. Now d4 pawn is the center of the tension. Black plays queen to b6. That is very essential move here because this queen is not only eyeing that d4 square, but this queen also attacks the b2 pawn. That is like any bishop movement from now it is not possible because that queen will simply grab that pawn on b2, and this is worst position for the white. So this bishop on c1 is now kind of a cramped with that move of queen to b6. So in this position, white plays bishop to d3. This is the main line. Okay, so like one will wonder that what's wrong in taking this pawn now. So you can take this pawn, that is fine, but you cannot take this extra pawn, as you will think that after knight captures d4, you will capture the knight back with the queen, because bishop to b5 check, bam, you have lost your queen now. So after, let's say, black plays anything, with this is even worse. You will not have even bishop now. So after this check, simply you lost the queen. So that is not working here. So after bishop to d3, black generally plays bishop to d7, stopping that check coming. So now if, let's say, white castles, then this variation was like, this is possible now because you don't have that check coming anymore. Okay, so this variation is possible in that position. So after bishop to d7, here white immediately retracts this bishop to c2, opening up the queen's file, so queen can protect d4 pawn. In this position, black generally takes that pawn, and after white takes, bishop to b4 check is coming, followed by, you have to, here it is very important that you have to stop that check by knight, because if you put your bishop in between, this pawn on d4 is hanging, so black can immediately capture that pawn, and this is not a good position for the white. So after pawn takes, bishop to b4 check, knight to c3, stopping that check. And in this position, black generally plays knight to e7, preparing up for the small castle. But here if white castles, then immediate castle from the black on a king side is a terrible blunder. You will see why. Because after your opponent castles like this, if you ever come in such a situation that you castle and your opponent immediately castle in that position, then you can simply grab that pawn on h7, because now king cannot capture this bishop. Otherwise, knight to g5 check, king to back to g8, and then queen to h5 is deadly on that h7 square. Now black has very less option to go for. Black can play, okay, black can play knight to e8 and stop attack for a while, but it is not happening, because after king to f8, queen to h8 check, only knight can save that check. So after this, knight to h7 check, and king has to run on the e7 square. And even after this, bishop to h5 check, g5 check is coming, and a lot happening here. So this is lost position for the black. So this is the main line of French advanced variation, and those two were the little nice. I will not say traps, but little tricks involved in the French variations advanced opening, right? So after this position, like I discussed, so black should not immediately castle, but the ideas with knight to g6 is also one of the main lines. So after knight to g6, now you can castle. Now black can castle, and there are like other plays also, like uh, this is like some player plays this kind of a variation, so immediately black starts pushing on the queen side and place further. So knight to f5 and knight to g6. These are the basic moves of the knight development, and then black can castle on the maybe mostly king sides only, and then the game progresses. Hope you like this video. Feel free to comment your doubts on the comment section, and please like and subscribe. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.